The Stack. People, Business, Technology. With Dan Tomaszewski of Everything MSP.
Hello, everybody. Dan Tomaszewski here with Everything MSP. Welcome to another episode of The Stack, where we focus on people, business, and technology. I am joined by my good friend, Joshua Liberman, who is with Net Sciences, Inc., and out of New Mexico, right?
Yep, way out at the moment.
Way out, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so we are here live at the GTIA ChannelCon 2025 event, and it's starting to get a little bit loud out there right now, so hopefully everybody can hear us really well, but it's final day. You know, it's been a great event.
Bright lights help balance that noise quite
Yes,
a bit.
it does.
Yeah. I'm going to blink a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Dan, these are always extraordinary events. If you're kind of a show hound, you'll note that there's a pretty big show floor.
Yeah.
There are vendors there you've never seen before. I don't care if you went to 20 shows in a year, there'll be 20 vendors you've never seen.
Yeah.
Partly because the booths are free, but partly because this is kind of the coming out party for a lot of new entrants into the channel. And I think each year I've met one or two vendors that I've followed and kept up with because I met them here at ChannelCon.
Yeah, and I think one of the key things, cybersecurity is always dominating, discussion item at every event. And of course, it's never going to go away, never going to scale back. But AI, the introduction of AI, is competing for some of that space, and the two work very synergistically,
or not.
They should. But
so AI is definitely, I'm pretty sure, it was invented just so we could stop saying the word cyber.
Right.
It is the dominant discussion just about everywhere, and not just in our industry.
Yeah.
But what you're driving at, I think, is that AI could be a tremendous driver of improved cybersecurity. Unfortunately, like a lot of technologies, it's been weaponized first.
Right.
So nuclear energy is a phenomenal energy source, but it didn't do that first.
Yeah.
That wasn't our first use, and AI has been weaponized much more quickly and effectively. Maybe it's becoming more of an even battle now, but AI became weaponized so quick when it comes to phishing and blending social engineering attacks these days.
Yeah, and you take a look at just the progress that AI has made. I think there's a large percentage of people that think AI was invented in 2022 when ChatGPT came out, right? Just like the cloud was brand new at one point, and there's that confusion of when it was released or launched or born, whatever you want to call it. But the thing is, that really has spiked the possibilities of where a business could leverage AI, and it's brought it down to a level of understanding that may not have happened if something like ChatGPT didn't come out. Would you agree with that?
Largely, yes. What's funny is I think what happened 2 or 3 years ago isn't that AI suddenly was invented, but that people started calling it that. But
sure,
who remembers Clippy? Clippy was AI. It was
right.
Really terrible AI.
Yeah.
And Bob, just to beat on Microsoft a little harder.
Yeah.
But we've experienced machine learning, and even before that, we've experienced autocomplete. I mean, technically, autocomplete is AI. I still remember texting Heidi and telling her I was waiting at the Rectal Cats. It was actually rental cars, but I'm not sure she ever erased that text.
That's funny.
We've had it around, but now it's a buzzword, and now it is actually a useful tool, and it is growing exponentially, which is a word I don't usually use because of a math background. Very few things actually grow exponentially, but it may be achieving that. And soon, if AI starts supervising the development of AI, I'm sure it will be truly exponential, and that fills me with a mixture of fear, loathing, and dread.
Yeah,
mostly. It's also cool.
Yeah, I mean, so I think the thing that I'd love to talk about is just how an MSP can leverage this with their clients. I know we've discussed in the past how, we need to, leverage this tool ourselves internally as MSPs before we start to push it and sell it, because you can't really sell it unless you live it. And, but I think once we've gotten to that point, how do we discuss this with clients? How do we bring this topic into the mix and help them to understand what the true potential is?
Well, I have a little bit of a long answer, so stop me when you need me.
Okay. Yeah.
As a Siberian Husky guy, we eat a lot of our own dog food. Fortunately, not literally, but as MSPs, we try to engage with the tools and the processes that we're going to deliver to clients as often as we can and as quickly as we can. So sure, we're already deploying or employing AI in our own shop, mostly for PowerShell scripting and various other very rote tasks where there's a right and a wrong way to do things.
Sure.
And it's easy to tell. The problem with this is that our clientele, for the most part, believes they're not deploying or employing, again, AI. They're just not right. So you've asked 20 clients, are they using AI? And 16 will tell you no. And 16 will be wrong because there's somebody on staff or 16 people on staff who are, and they don't know it.
Right.
Though I didn't raise kids, and I did hire a lot of employees over the years and more clients. I discovered there's a kind of a parallel between raising children in this, and it comes down to sex education.
Okay.
AI is going to happen. It's better if you have the discussion first, or have a frank discussion about it, and teach people to practice AI safely and within the guardrails that apply to their industry, their worldview.
Yeah.
And it's just not happening enough. The tools are, the heck with shadow IT, shadow AI is really dominant. It's everywhere. And these companies don't realize that when it's free, you're the product, and all this is free. For most of this is free, and they're being monetized behind their own backs, and there's risks that they don't know about. The upside is if you master a way to work with your clientele to bring AI sensibly and safely into their business, you will have achieved a level of embedding in their business that you really can't by being an MSP. We're somewhat commoditized, very commoditized in some markets, but our expertise and our business acumen is less easily so commoditized.
Right.
And you want to be much more deeply involved in the business. AI is that pathway to you.
Yeah.
Until you're replaced with an AI.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, a common discussion area is stickiness. And, we've often in all the past years talked about how different technologies, things we do, the tools we use create stickiness in our business, and it doesn't anymore. Those discussions that we have about business outcome, those discussions that we have about, how we can help them achieve their goals and objectives is what creates stickiness. And we have to continue to focus on that. And what better way than to create that stickiness, begin that conversation than AI?
Yeah, there's a lot of talk of marketplaces and the new way of buying, and people like to do their own research. The problem is they don't necessarily know what questions to ask or questions are out more.
Yeah.
And we run into a fair amount of situations where clients have made their own snap or maybe protracted decisions, and then let us know it's our problem to integrate, secure, and protect them from those choices. And it's not always something we can do after the fact.
Yeah.
So again, being, I said, embedded, integrated into their business making decisions is the most powerful thing you can do for what you call stickiness.
Right.
And in my mind, it's that integration. It's being an integral part of their business. That's always the biggest challenge for us. People still see us as the computer repair guys sometimes.
Right.
And that's a long way away from anything we've been for decades.
Yeah.
They haven't evolved their perceptions necessarily.
So let's talk a little bit about clients in their line of business. Actually, let me back up a little bit. So let's talk about AI and how they can leverage AI in their business. I think first and foremost, their line of business applications are going to be and are integrating some level of AI into it. So as we begin to have those conversations, we need to get a better understanding of if they're integrating some level of AI into their line of business. It might be something as simple as, it's going to pretty up a message within, maybe they're, doing marketing and they're using a particular LOB that's marketing focused. They can go in there and type in a message. They've got a little AI tool. That's not anything that we really are going to get involved in. But when it's going to be integrated into other aspects, it's going to take data from an LOB, pull it into, some type of AI tool, then that's where we need to get a better understanding of what they're doing. And I think this calls for us being more involved in understanding what their line of business applications are, and maybe getting more involved in their industry associations to hear what the messages are coming from. So if it's an accounting firm, listen to what's happening at a accounting association events, accounting associations, and hear what that message is. What are they being told that this is what they should do? Because at the end of the day, we have to help them implement it, secure it, and protect their organization.
Yeah, unfortunately, most of us are not, again, integrated well enough into the decision-making process to have exposure to what you just described. And this is one of those times where a lot of our clients think you can bake or maybe frost the cake with security.
Yeah.
And you can't. I mean, it's got to be in the mix. And they just don't realize. And of course, these folks that are trying to make money by peddling AI to them are not about to come out and tell them, you realize all your data will be ingested and it's going to be a part of the Borg at this point. They just don't see that. They don't realize it. To their credit, and I won't say this very often, Microsoft has led in some ways in that you can practice safe Copilot AI.
Yeah.
You can actually ring fence your data, and that's great.
Yep.
But that's not trivial because, like all things Microsoft, there's 14 ways to do it, 21 different SKUs, and that'll be different tomorrow. And day after, they'll rename it. The reality is it's a really complicated terrain, and your clients think that you're just walking a trail, and they're not.
Yeah.
They need an orienteering lesson. They need to do the route finding, and we need to be there helping them. Once again, though, if you make that leap, if you get into these processes, you will be connected much more securely to your clients. It's really been challenging. I think I have 2 clients that have told me, yes, we want to pursue an AI strategy, more or less those words. And that's great. But the vast majority of them are still heads down. We're in about payroll and inventory and employee count.
Yeah.
And you're not thinking strategically at all because so many of them don't.
What is the depth of their interest in AI? Is it simply, hey, we want to leverage Copilot? Or is it truly something that's, so much deeper than that? Because I view Copilot, ChatGPT, Gemini is very surface level. And, when you get drill down deeper into the true potential of AI, it can be so much more as far as digital workforce and agentic AI. Are they getting deep into those conversations, or is it more surface level?
First of all, I've yet to have a client say the word Copilot to me.
Okay.
That just hasn't come up.
Yeah.
Don't really hear anything but the name ChatGPT. When I speak with them and I mention other engines out there, they're usually surprised that they just don't know. I mean, ChatGPT is becoming Kleenex or Q-tips. It's become the catch-all name. The problem is they're doing very mundane things. They are letting it write emails for them in a couple of cases. Sure. They are letting it, I'd say, clean up or sharpen up marketing messages. But the reality is it doesn't necessarily clean up or sharpen things up. It reaches for that lowest common denominator, because that is at the moment how AI works. It distills and it homogenizes stuff. So when they show me things they've written, it's very clearly AI written for the most part, and it doesn't necessarily catch their tone at all, because They don't understand the concept of training an AI on their style, their words, their way,
Their persona.
communicating.
Yeah.
People sending them phishing mails understand that.
Right.
They've been perched inside somebody's M365 tenant for 3 months watching the mail flow. And I showed them a couple of astonishing phishing messages that are extremely well written. And it's spooky to see that.
Yeah.
But they are very superficial, and they're handing over the reins. I mean, they're raising Siberian Huskies till the age of about 8 months, and then they're strapping them into traces and they're letting them run the sled.
Right.
What they're great at, and I don't mean Huskies, but AI agents, they're great at doing the research, collating data, executing rote process. And again, I'm going to say today.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say next year they'll be better, because they might be better next month. Much better. But today, our experience has been that they're great for laying the groundwork, but they're not. I don't see myself in the near future letting an AI write for me. I can't imagine that. And unfortunately, our clients aren't evaluating it on that level. They're just trying things. And you're right. They're getting direction from their groups, their LinkedIn groups, their real life groups, and from these collectives aimed at their target market.
Yeah.
We have to get into that. And I actually hadn't thought about getting into that. It's a great takeaway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Become part of those groups that they join.
Right.
Find out what kind of good or bad advice they're getting.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we wrap things up, what advice would you give to MSPs as they go out and get in front of their clients and start having these discussions? Is the catalyst for the discussion AI, or is the catalyst for the discussion just business outcome? It's doing what we should be talking about, learning about their business, and then just like we incorporate some level of technology into it, we're incorporating some level of AI into it.
Read the room is my takeaway. You have some clients that are going to be very sophisticated with great operational maturity. We have some of those, and we have a lot of folks that are day-to-day driven, and learn or intuit, I think, what it is what's going to appeal to them. And I have a couple of clients where the single most important thing on their mind is the one that's on mine, which is, how do I protect against this? Keep my staff from being tricked, or give away our data, or yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
But then you have others that are much more strategic and not as reactive, and they're going to be looking for ways to actually improve processes and eventually cull workforce, and eventually maybe even shape business direction, product or service offerings. There's a lot that's coming our way. I've yet to meet a customer, somebody we interact with once or twice. An engaged client, a contracted client. I've yet to meet one of the latter that he's looking for ways to shave workforce, but that's certainly coming.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, Josh, as always appreciate our time and our discussions, and thank you for your time.
Thanks, Dan.
And for everybody out there, thank you for your time as well. Until next time, have a great rest of your day. Take care.
Thank you for listening to The Stack.